The Pittsburgh Steelers win the toss, and the Steelers elect to receive. And a final thought before kickoff, Phil.
Well, a lot of storylines here today, no doubt about it. But both offensive lines, a little bit of mystery how they're going to perform in this game today. And you can say who does the best, of course, is going to give their team the best chance to win.
The Steelers have played on this field only one time. It was not against Dallas. You'll recall it was back in February 2011 when they fell to the Giants and to the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 45. There is Chris Rainey. He has become quite a threat, the rookie out of Florida, in the return game. He had 3 returns last week that went for at least 29 yards. Dan Bailey sends it his way and over his head. So that'll bring out Roethlisberger in the Steelers attack from the 20. Now the last 11 times that Ben comes off a defeat, he's won in the next week, the next game. He has not lost 2 in a row since back in 2009. Here's his line, and we're going to see their first-round pick, DeCastro, for the first time. Starting at right guard, that moves Foster over to the left side. And then you got Mike Wallace coming off a 2-touchdown game last week in the loss against San Diego. They'll come out with Dwyer, the starting running back. Paulson, a backup tight end, now shifting over to the right side, and here we go with the Steelers.
Hey, alert, alert! Alert, alert!
It's Dwyer making his way through traffic for 6 yards. Papinga on the tackle, and the Dallas defense under the direction of coordinator Rob Ryan lists some more with Ratliff out, having just had hernia surgery. Ratliff going to miss some more time. Ware, 11 sacks on the year. And in that secondary, Carr with a key pick last week in that road victory up at Cincinnati. 2nd down and 4 after the nice run by Dwyer. It's raining in the backfield now. And Roethlisberger zips it, and it's knocked down by Carr. Looked like for a moment that Wallace might be able to make the catch, but Carr comes in at the last moment.
Well, Brandon Carr plays the technique. Bottom of your screen. He stays outside. Ben Roethlisberger throws it just a little bit behind Mike Wallace. You want to throw inside breaking routes against the Dallas Cowboys.
Now a third different back on the third play. It's Redmond on 3rd and 4. Sanders comes in as an extra receiver. Cowboys trying to force an early 3-and-out. Roethlisberger's throw is complete to Antonio Brown and a first down. Pushed out by Mike Jenkins after a gain of 6.
Nice throw by Ben Roethlisberger. What they do, they're stacking these receivers. Why did they do that? Because they want to get the back receiver. That time it was Antonio Brown down the field without being hit by the defender. And Mike Tomlin talked to us quite frankly, Jim, possess the football. What he means by that, help our defense out. The defensive backs are beat up, and let's get some first downs and change field position, because field position was awful last week for the Steelers.
Quick throw, and it is batted around and intercepted and then dropped. Incomplete. Anthony Spencer had the perfect play on it. He cannot believe he failed to hold on.
Well, it's a bad decision by Ben Roethlisberger. It's a running play, but he decides to throw the backside slant instead of giving off the run. And Brandon Carr, 2 plays all over the receiver, knocks it up in the air.
And then look at Spencer.
He did not have possession. The Steelers first down, their first run, 6 yards. They opened up a nice running hole. I would not throw those quick passes when a run is on early in the game.
And it's 2nd down and 10. And down the field, the man is there. The ball comes out. Sanders fumbles again. It's becoming chronic. And it's recovered by Albright. Alex Albright with the recovery. Sanders coughs it up.
Jim, it's a turnover, so it will be looked at. Its feet are on the ground, but it's could be a bang-bang play. Both feet are on the ground. Did he have possession of that football long enough?
Sanders, who fumbled against the Ravens the week before that as well at Cleveland.
Jim, let's look at it regular speed. That's how you tell if he has possession of the
previous
football.
play is under review.
So again, all turnovers have to be verified, and we'll see if it's a Dallas takeaway when we come back. Will Alex Albright's fumble recovery hold up? In fact, will they call it incomplete? A catch and a fumble. Here we go.
Judge it this way. Is it bang, bang? Catch, boom, fumble. Very close. It was the second guy that hit him that caused the fumble, but it was a very quick catch, hit, and fumble.
Clete Blakeman is the referee today.
After review of the play, the receiver caught the ball, however, was not able to complete the process of the catch prior to losing. It is an incomplete pass. Bring up third down.
Come over here, Garrett says.
Well, I think his argument, you said it, Jim, it's the second defender. If there's a hit, then the second defender hits him, then he fumbles. But I always go by this, because I've made this mistake. When you watch them in slow motion, it always looks like a catch. But when you go full speed, if you can't see a little bit of delay between the catch and the fumble, it's called a bang-bang play. That's probably why they reversed it.
They used to talk about 2 steps, and then it's a catch, and you saw 3 fingers up. It was 3 steps before the ball came out, and that was Jason Garrett's point. 2 near takeaways on this opening Pittsburgh drive, and Dallas fails to get either one of them. Will be 3rd and 10 coming up.
But you made a good point. You have to make these catches under pressure. We've seen the Steelers drop quite a few of them in the last few weeks.
Roethlisberger, pass deflected again. Dangerous moment there. It was tipped by Victor Butler. And the Steelers will punt.
Cowboys defense really coming out fast, recognizing the plays. Butler that time, and also Mike Jenkins. Everybody seeing the quick screen outside. The Steelers love those passes in 3rd and long.
So Drew Butler will punt it to Dwayne Harris, and it's a beauty. Backs him up to the 12. Tries to spin away from the first tackler, and he's brought down. I'll tell you, Van Dyke was on him in a hurry. The Dallas Cowboys are wearing a decal on the back of their helmets, remembering their teammate who tragically died a week ago, Jerry Brown Jr., practice squad linebacker who was impressing them in his play. He'd been there for a little more than a month. And there is Josh Brent, his teammate, the man who was driving the car and who was legally drunk when the accident occurred. And he, right now, is suspended from the NFL's non-football illness list, but he is suspended right now with benefits, and he's on the sideline here today with all, of course, kinds of legal issues on the way. Josh Brent facing. There's a pass on first down over to Miles Austin near the 30-yard line, and Ryan Clark, the defender, shoves him out after a gain of 17.
Important thing there. How about this pass protection for Tony Romo? Plenty of time. The clear out on the outside. The Dallas Cowboys want to throw the football outside those numbers towards the sideline.
So the Cowboys with a smart start with a 17-yard gain. And it's up the middle with Murray pushed down after a gain of 3. And the NFL today, we heard from Coach Jason Garrett and how the Cowboys are going to be supportive of Josh Brent, but he wanted to make it very clear. The Cowboys, of course, are not blind to the fact that this was a drunk driving accident, and they don't feel any sympathy when it comes to that, but this is one of their teammates, and they're there to support him right now. very emphatic about all the above. 2nd down and 7 as they complete it over to Cole Beasley. And they mark him short of the first. Gain of 6. Here's Tony Romo. And today he can go over 25,000 yards on his career with 238. His line been an issue this season because of injuries. Smith, the most decorated one of the bunch, the first rounder a year ago out of Southern Cal. And Des Bryant is up and playing even with a broken finger, pointer finger on his left hand. 3rd and 1 and 3 tight ends in for Dallas. And they pick up the first with Murray. Running right behind Lawrence Vickers for 9.
Lawrence Vickers, a good blocking fullback. Go to the left side. Tyron Smith, Jason Witten, they seal the edge. And DeMarco Murray, how about that stiff arm? This guy, if there's 4 yards to get gained, he gets it.
Boy, look at him shoving the face guard of Larry Foote for a good 5 yards.
He fights for every single inch. Sometimes that's not a good thing for a running back, but this Cowboys running offense has been so bad. 31st in the league in rushing. They need a running back to go for that extra foot or that extra yard.
Of course, they've been behind so often, so early, they've had to move away from the running game. One of the reasons why they're next to last in the league. Here on 1st down, the throw over complete to Ogletree, and Ogletree is near another 1st down, about a foot shy, I believe. Gain of 9. The Pittsburgh defense, number 1 in the league, number 1 against the pass. Hood has had a sack each of the last 2 weeks. They welcome the return today of Lamar Woodley. He's been out a couple of games with an ankle injury. And then in the secondary, again, there are concerns here. Josh Victorian just brought off the practice squad a couple of weeks ago. He got the start, and there's Cortez Allen, who's out with a groin injury after he had stepped in for an injured Ike Taylor, who remains out. 2nd and 1. They go ahead and get the 1st down, and Polamalu wraps up Murray, but it's another big hole there for the Dallas rushing attack. Gain of 11.
Good point, Jim. Cameron Hayward gets pushed down inside. You don't see the backside safety so fast. That's Troy Polamalu. Why? Because he's back trying to help the corners out. That's what they're hoping they can do today. Help their corners. Jim, you talked about it. They're beat up in the defensive secondary. So that means that front 7 has to be stout and stop the run.
New set of downs at the Steelers' 34. And success throwing on 1st down. They've got another hookup here. They rule a catch at the 23. Miles Austin with another grab. This one for 11.
Well, we talked about throwing it to the sideline. What a job. Going up, make the catch. Didn't see it, did you, Jim?
Well, that left foot may have just barely been down.
How about the right foot?
The right foot's, yes, the right foot's the issue.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's definitely not in bounds in my eyes. Mike Tomlin, you can't get a bigger board to look at it than that one. Right above you. There it goes. He challenged it.
Dallas had a chance to go ahead and get it in the books and snap it, but the challenge flag comes out from Mike Tomlin.
Big play, good challenge. Saw it on the scoreboard. You could see the replay. It is in doubt. Stop the Cowboys' early momentum if this goes your way.
Pittsburgh is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
Did the right foot touch right there? It may have. May just have been a little tap. We'll see.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Zero Dark 30, in theaters January. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
The roof is open, crowd somewhere near 100,000, and this one's going to come back. The right foot. From this angle, you thought, well, maybe he tapped it, but when you see it from some other angles, that right foot never did touch the ground.
There's a good shot. You can tell the right foot didn't get down. Good job by Victorian. His hit is what drives Miles Austin's right leg or right foot back up in the air. You talked about him last week. You go, wow, every time you saw him in a replay, just getting activated by the Steelers, he was all over the receivers for San Diego.
Charlie Batch, Ben Roethlisberger, they know they're going to win the challenge. Yeah, Victorian, he's active.
Definitely acts like he's not afraid.
After review of the play, the receiver failed to get his second foot down inbounds. Therefore, there's an incomplete pass. It brings up second down. Pittsburgh wins. They retain their time. They did not lose a timeout. Please put 9 minutes and 34 seconds on the game clock. 9:34.
So Pittsburgh has already had a fumble overturned on a booth review, and now a catch negated on a challenge. And the Cowboys will have a 2nd and 10 from the Steelers' 34.
Well, the Cowboys doing what they want to do here early. Throw the football outside. They know the corner situation is rough for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And also, Tony Romo, get rid of the football quickly. And every once in a while, this offensive line, they need help from the running back and tight end when it comes to blocking for Tony Romo.
2nd down and 10 again. The Cowboys have struggled in the first quarter. Only 33 points all season long in the opening quarter. And they run it here with Felix Jones for a couple. Yeah, they've been playing behind so often, so early finding themselves down.
Well, that's right. Hard to hand it off to the running backs and establish the run when you're playing from behind a lot, which they have been. And, of course, this Steelers defense, we talk about it every single week. Number 1 against the pass. 5th against the rush. Jason Garrett's got to tell himself, be patient, keep running the football, even if you don't have good success.
Des Bryant's caught a touchdown, at least one in each of the last 5 games. 7 touchdowns in those last 5. On 3rd and 8, here comes the chase. Foot is after Romo, who's able to slide away. Somehow able to get free, and the pass incomplete. You got to wonder about the hand. It went to Des Bryant with Keenan Lewis on the coverage, and somehow, what an escape by Romo when it falls incomplete.
How about the fake? Larry Foote act like he was going to drop in coverage. The Cowboys struggled with inside blitzes last week and picking them up, and that was a good disguise. And you're right, Jim. It's one thing to catch these footballs in practice, but can you do it when a defender is hitting on you? And after you tried to block a few times for running plays.
They're going to try a 50-yard field goal here. Dan Bailey has only missed once in his career at home. And Bailey with a beauty. And the Cowboys put up 3. Now 34 of 35 at home in his 2 years. Bailey puts up 3. Tonight on Survivor, 4 castaways remain after 2 tribal councils and 2 incredible hours. Only one will be the sole survivor. Don't miss the season finale and the live reunion show tonight, only CBS.
Well, good job by the Cowboys. Really good start, Jim. Both sides. Defense looks like they're tuned in to the Steelers offense. They look fast. They got the crowd involved there. Tony Romo, protection, except for the last blitz. But that's what you want. Something positive early in these football games.
By the way, the Steelers are down another DB, although he's mainly a special teamer. Back on the punt a while ago, DeMarcus Van Dyke injured a shoulder. He's doubtful to return. And Bailey delivers a 2nd straight touchback. So Roethlisberger, it's his 2nd week back after missing the 3 games with the shoulder and rib injuries. And, you know, going into it last week, so many people coming up telling him it's great to have you back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it starts to weigh on the mind a little bit, even hearing it from Ben this week when we met with him.
He said he felt the nerves going into the game, trying to get into the movement, I guess you want to say. And he goes, yeah, I'm getting my ankles taped before the game. And the trainers are going, oh, it's so good. We're so glad you're back and everything. And it's, you know, he got tired of hearing it. And I don't care who you are, Jim, in this NFL. When you're a quarterback and you're out for 3 weeks, I discounted it. That was a mistake on my part. But it takes a while to get used to what's going on out there in that field.
Ernie Sims a little shaky and upset about it, and heading to the sideline for Dallas.
You know, Dallas having trouble at the linebacker position with injuries. They lost 2 really good inside linebackers, Bruce Carter and Sean Lee. Ernie Sims has done a good job of filling in for him for one of the two.
Back at the 20 to start again. Roethlisberger goes gun right away. Fields a low snap. And finds Miller for 11. Wrapped up by Connor and Jenkins. There's a huge, as always, Pittsburgh contingent in the crowd here today. And every time you have a Heath Miller catch on the road, you still hear the reaction.
I know. He said he's flattered by it. He does like it when they make that noise. And we had a chance to talk to him last night. How about a high school quarterback in college for 2 weeks? They said, hey, why don't you try this tight end spot out? Well, it's a good thing. Good move by the coach. He's been a terrific pro.
His next catch will be his 400th of his career. Dwyer hurtling out to about the 35 and a gain of 4. Jonathan Dwyer getting the start for the 3rd straight week, and Richard Mendenhall inactive, in fact suspended when he showed up at the facility on Tuesday. They told him to take the rest of the week off.
Yeah, and Mike Tomlin, he has certain rules for this football team, how you act and how you practice, and when you don't live up to those rules, no hesitation. Suspended him. I think Richard Mendenhall has learned his lesson, and when he comes back, I really expect him to be a vital part of this end of the season for him.
2nd and 6. Back out to Dwyer, and it's all clogged up in the middle. In the pile, he's got about a yard. It'll set up a 3rd and 5 for the Steelers.
Now, one thing this Dallas defense is worried about, they don't want to get pushed around up front because of the injuries to the linebackers inside. Jay Ratliff, the starting nose tackle, is out, and the Steeler line is big.
6 defensive backs in for Rob Ryan here, trying to shut down the Steelers on 3rd and 5. Still has it. Roethlisberger now unloads it, and he finds Brown at midfield for the first. A fast converging Sterling Moore tried to jar it loose, but Brown holds on for 15.
Oh, man, look, just watch the blocking, the pickup, Marquise Pouncey, Jonathan Dwyer, and how about the quarterback? That just shows you how much calmer he is already this week. Didn't panic because of the blitz, slid in the pocket, and what a throw to Antonio Brown.
They actually spotted on the Dallas side of the field, as Brown has a couple of conversions already in this game on 2 catches. From the 48 and a first. The 3rd catch for Brown. And Jenkins able to hold on by the shoulder pads and keep it to a 4-yard gain. Get complete pro football coverage from this weekend all the way through Super Bowl 47 at CBSSports.com/NFL. Will Johnson now lined up behind Heath Miller, who again will shift back to the line. Got the fullback again lined up behind Ben. Straight back. Going for the long ball for Wallace. Got a little tripped up, no flag. Carr on the coverage.
Well, it looks like they're trying to attack Brandon Carr, and it's a double move. He's been aggressive on the first couple of short routes. Well, that was a triple move. How about that move? And how about Brandon Carr? All over it in perfect position, and Ben Roethlisberger really just has to throw it away. Brandon Carr, the big free agent pickup for the Dallas Cowboys, played with the Kansas City Chiefs, so Todd Haley, offensive coordinator, knows him well.
Haley is former head coach at Kansas City. 3rd and 6. And Wallace brings it down. They give him the catch at the 32. Working on Carr again. And a pickup of 12.
Don't see this a whole lot from this Pittsburgh offense. Well, what a move at the line of scrimmage. They always say, receivers, you get the reception, you win the battle at the line of scrimmage. The quickness of Mike Wallace gets him open. The perfect back shoulder throw by Ben Roethlisberger.
Dallas with a late substitution, and a challenge flag is out. Now they're going to challenge the Wallace catch.
Did he have possession before he went out of bounds? He did juggle the football.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
Well, it's been a rough first quarter here under the hood for the Cowboys. 2 times, both of them going against the Cowboys. A little bobble, so maybe the second foot wasn't down.
Good challenge.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer.
Now they're checking the replay of the Mike Wallace catch. Jason Garrett challenging, saying he did not have possession before he had both feet down. If it goes the Cowboys' way, it would be 4th and 6 back at the 44.
There it is. Possession when he gets it. Definitely the left foot never has a chance to get down. So you said it right. It will be 4th down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. From the 44, 4th down and 6 at the 44. The Steelers will have to punt.
Mike Wallace looks up at the 60-yard long screen here. At one time, the biggest video screen in the world. Just like the one in your house.
After review of the play, the receiver bobbled the ball, did not get both feet down after he gained possession. Report is incomplete pass. Dallas will not be charged with a timeout. Please put 4 minutes, 57 seconds on the game clock. 4:57.
That's a big win by the Cowboys, that challenge, because that brings out the punting unit.
Well, it takes the Steelers out of scoring range, and if I had this screen in my house, I would never come out. I would watch everything. Where is the biggest one? Do you know?
You know, I don't know that.
You don't know? You just know it's the second biggest. It's hard to believe it's the second biggest one.
I'm hearing now it still is the biggest.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drew Butler now actually hit the screen during warm-ups. Harris is back for the Cowboys. He's not going to get near this one. Bounds at the 8, and just an ugly bounce for Butler. So just a net of 24. We've got an update on Seattle and Buffalo, and James Brown has it.
Seattle getting it done, Coach. Yeah, right here you're going to see Russell Wilson hand it off. Marshawn Lynch, he's going to go 54 yards. Right here, this will set up a 4-yard Russell Wilson to Zach Miller touchdown. And right now, Seattle leads 24-7.
Second youngest squad in the league getting it done. Back to Jim Nance and Phil Simms.
All right, the Cowboys, of course, interested in all those teams. Minnesota with a big win already today down in St. Louis. And Seattle ahead of them in the standings. That wild card chase, but of course the division could be a 3-way tie by day's end in the East. As Murray is able to squeeze out about 6. Boy, you said it to me earlier. When Murray picks up, 3 or 4 yards, you can most of the time say he fought for the extra 2 or 3 of it.
And he does a good job. It's a nice job by the offensive line. DeMarco Murray keeps working. He has good balance, but the offensive line made contact with the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line and stayed on them. That's why he got those extra yards.
Second down and 4. With a 4-receiver set. And it's over to Austin. He was left alone before Polamalu comes over to bring him down, but it's a first down. Dallas gaining 9 with that one. Miles Austin making some early plays for the Cowboys in this one.
Now, Miles Austin, I think he's a big key for this football team. Anytime you talk about an inside receiver on third down, they are important. The Steelers, their good third down nickel back or their extra defensive back, Cortez Allen, is out today, so that's something to watch closely.
Yellow 80! 180!
He takes him early. And they go back again to Austin. What a nifty move he made on Josh Victorian. Looked like he was going to try to take him deep.
Yep.
Turned right back around and the ball was waiting for him.
You top of your screen, watch it. They love these double moves. That was just a little skip. But that's what really alerts the defensive back that he's maybe going to go deep. And what a fake by Tony Romo. The extra pass protection by Jason Witten, who leaks out late. That's how you take advantage of a defensive back whose first priority is to make sure he doesn't give up the long completions down the field.
19 yards to number 19. And back to the Pittsburgh side of the field for a first down. And again on that sideline is back to Austin. Feasting right now on this matchup against Victoria for another 12.
Steelers' favorite blitz. Here it comes. They're going to cross the linebackers. There comes Larry Foote. How about that pickup by DeMarco Murray on Lawrence Timmons? And throw it out to Miles Austin. You got to trust him, Jim. He's a big, strong receiver. So if he's out there and he's fighting the defensive back, throw it up. He should win that physical battle outside.
Austin has more yards than the Pittsburgh offense as Ike Taylor watches from the sideline with a boot.
180!
Their best cover defensive back, Ike Taylor.
Broken fibula, he's out for at least another week. As they run it, what a run it is! And Murray down to the 6-yard line. The run finally ended by Ziggy Hood, but it's a pickup of 29 for DeMarco Murray.
Well, what you're going to find out with this DeMarco Murray's a little different. They're out there. Brett Kiesel's there. They hit him, but nobody wraps their arms around him. So he showed good balance one more time. And how about this Cowboys offensive line physically getting it done here in the first quarter? And we've heard it all week long. We've talked about it. The offensive line has been absolutely subpar this season so far. They had a really rough week last week against the Bengals, but a good start today.
They've got a new right tackle in Parnell coming in for free on this series. Romo on first and goal, flings it. Incomplete with a flag down. He's throwing it away.
Might be offsetting.
There are fouls against both teams on the play. Holding, number 63, offense. Holding, number 43, defense. Those penalties offset will replay first down.
Cook, the center for the Cowboys. Polamalu for Pittsburgh.
That was a good hold by Ryan Cook. Kiesel's probably going to hit the quarterback. Troy Polamalu just puts his arm around and turns Miles Austin, so good call on both.
Replay the down. From the 7, first and goal. Play action, and Romo throws it, and is dropped by Vickers.
Steelers tough down inside the 20-yard line, the 10-yard line, because they can stand in there and stop the run with their front 7. And also now they play a shell. They know they have the back of the end zone to help them, so it's just hard to fit the football in small places. Sun could have been a problem that time on the catch. Not like the old stadium though.
Second and goal. It's Murray. Trying to break into a sprint. Kiesel prevented that, and the ball comes out. And it's recovered by the Steelers. It was Harrison who knocked it out. Kiesel with the recovery. Look at Harrison. Swatted away. Ball goes back to Pittsburgh. This is the 5th time on the year the Cowboys have turned it over in the red zone. By comparison, the Steelers 0 in the red zone. Dwyer. Nowhere to go, and slammed down right away.
What a job by Brett Kiesel on the fumble, got right around the left guard Nate Livings, and then James Harrison kept hustling, able to knock the football out.
Steelers already headed to the other end. As going to be the third straight game now. Pittsburgh's offense has not put up a touchdown in the first quarter. Now the clock stopped for a moment. Now it resumes. But 3-0 Dallas, and it could be a whole lot more.
Well, Pittsburgh, they got fortunate, really. They weathered the storm. Dallas really emotionally, physically came out and played so well in so many aspects. Got to be disappointed with just a 3-0 lead.
3-0 Cowboys after one. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. We're back for the start of the second quarter. Jim Nantz, pleasure to be sitting with Phil Simms again from Cowboys Stadium. Some 95,000 strong. Dallas outgaining the Steelers by 80 yards in that first quarter, but have only 3 points to show for it. 2nd and 10. And Rainey is the running back and the ball carrier. And he shows that quickness for a quick 5, running into Connor and Hatcher.
Red light has to go on when you see Chris Rainey go in the backfield. Why? Well, we know he's not going to block. They don't like to hand it to him just in a running situation. Screens, draws, or him going out for a pass down the field.
5th rounder, speedster, has been brilliant on kick returns. 3rd and 5. And they go draw. And Rainey is tackled about a yard short of the first.
What a play.
Albright.
You said it. Alex Albright, 6'5", inside linebacker. Good call by the Steelers. And gets off the block that time of Ramon Foster. And they're pretty high in this. Alex Albright comes in on passing situations. A big linebacker who can cover guys down the field.
And Rainey comes up a yard short. Will take the role of Van Dyke as a gunner on the far side, with Van Dyke out for the game now with that shoulder injury suffered at the start. Harris makes the catch near the 40, out of bounds. 42-yard punt. Albright, sure-handed tackle, forces the 3 and out.
Touchdown.
Saw a glimpse of a Texas treasure, the Gatlin brothers, who sang the national anthem. Cowboys from the 42, and they go with Felix Jones as Murray will sit for a bit after coughing it up inside the 10 the last time the Cowboys had it. 4 yards there for Felix Jones.
A good job coming in being a substitute. What I'm looking for, Des Bryant, Jim. We saw him on practice on Friday. We had a chance to talk to him. He looked really good in practice. Fast, caught everything. But coming out here doing it for real, I think is a whole different environment.
Of course, he had that one bullet thrown at him when Romo was able to escape a Larry Foote sack. Murray back in on 2nd and 6. And on that one throw to Bryant, he was not able to make the catch. And there's a completion to a backup tight end, and James Hanna has it over to the Pittsburgh side. Well, it's a broken finger on his left hand, and there are all kinds of suggestions this week he should have it surgically repaired. That would end his season. He said, no, I can play.
He can play, so he did. You know, really, I think that all the players, the organization would have been surprised if he didn't try to play with this broken finger, fractured finger, whatever, how are we going to call it. If I was the Cowboys, I would try to find a way to get him the football, give him some confidence with that finger, and let him be part of this.
That last completion put Romo over 4,000 yards for the season. Over to Austin's got a blocker in front. It was Bryant blocking it. And it goes for about 7. Got a flag down.
Well, that was a good job of blocking by Des Bryant. Was he holding? We wondered about that with that hand. Could he do it?
Holding. Offense. Number 88.
There you go.
10-yard penalty from the spot. So replay, first down.
Oh, he's got that left hand way away from the defensive back. Pretty hard to hold with one hand, but Des Bryant, well, that's why. Got outside, has a hold of the shoulder pads of Ryan Clark. Easy call.
Backs up Dallas to the 46. They get the down over, and they mark off the yardage from the point of the foul, so it's 1st and 18. Romo, by the way, that's his 4th 4,000-yard season, the only Dallas quarterback in its history to even have one 4,000-yard year. Now he's got 4. All kinds of time, and he's got his target. Beautiful throw to James Hanna, the rookie from Oklahoma, drafted in the 6th round, takes it back inside the red zone, gain of 29.
Well, we talked about him. He's going to come across the screen from the left side. James Harrison is trying to cover him down the field. That is a tough matchup for a linebacker. This James Hanna, Jim, we've talked about him. He can run. He is a good-looking athlete, and he's going to find a big spot for himself in this offense.
Steelers defense brings in Robert Golden, a rookie out of Arizona, into the secondary, number 21. Actually, they drop him back as a safety, back at the 2-yard line. Doesn't see much action on defense. Primarily a special teamer. 1st and 10, and Romo goes down the middle and has the touchdown. Right on Golden. We told you he had just come in. Romo must have spotted it, and he went to his favorite target, Jason Witten, for the 17-yard touchdown.
They love these fakes. They like to go down the seam, and that time it's just a whole Steeler defense. The linebackers can't get deep enough. Ryan Clark comes up, and that's the weak spot of that coverage, is right up the hash mark, and that's where Jason Witten was.
And again, it was Golden's first play in there at defense at safety, and they went right into his area, and Witten had the easy touchdown. 10-0 Dallas. Romo with a touchdown pass now in 11 straight games. Witten's 93rd catch of the year goes for 6.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Share the holidays with the Share Everything plan. TD Ameritrade. And by Sears. This is how to gift. This is Sears.
Little Texas barbecue, Part 8 style. Jim Nance and a salivating Bill Sims.
No, listen.
Here with the Cowboys up 10-0.
I'm not going to eat any meat for the next month.
You've had a big weekend here.
Oh, my gosh.
Kick bounces right over Rainey, and a 3rd touchback.
Well, Jim, let me show you what happened on the touchdown. The Steelers worried about the run, so Ryan Clark is going to come up. Watch Jason Witten go down the seam. The safety's in the middle. The fake by Tony Romo is what does it. Look at everybody come up. Nobody sees Jason Witten or carries him up the field, and that's a tough play for Gold to try to make. But Jason Garrett inside the 30-yard line. His history is, look out, going for the end zone. Cowboys, second best team in the NFL, making big plays for touchdowns.
Isaac Redmond, the running back. And Roethlisberger has an open Redmond. Still didn't get knocked out of bounds. As Butler thought he lowered the shoulder, it definitely would force him out, but Redmond, he's a big, bulky target. He just bounced off of it for 14. Tonight on 60 Minutes, it is the largest passenger ship ever wrecked. Twice the size of the Titanic, so how are they planning to raise it? You can find out tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS.
Jim, really impressed with how the Cowboys have started the game on both sides. The offensive line so maligned, beat up by everybody, me included. I jumped on them for a quarter and started this second. They've been outstanding.
Ben looking to throw again. He's got pressure by his feet and throws it away. Well, this reminds you a little bit of the start the Steelers had last week against San Diego.
Mike Tomlin really upset that they've been getting off to these slow starts. And, you think he's going to say, blame the defense or whatever. He's blaming the offense. But how about you're talking about a guy, all the experience, never panics in the pocket. And Rob Ryan, all he could say is, tackle him low. He'll throw you off if you tackle him high. And when he breaks a tackle, he looks to throw it deep down the field.
Roethlisberger, 5 out of 12. Going up top again. He's got Miller in his 400th career reception. Gives the Steelers a first down at the Cowboys 49. Picks up 17.
Heath Miller, what did he say? Outside release, breaks it across the middle. How's that throw? Right on target. The complete tight end in the NFL. First round draft pick out of the University of Virginia years ago. Good blocker, good receiver. Doesn't drop many when they're thrown his way.
Yeah, Tomlin says he has an interesting skill set. He can do so many things, including the backup holder.
How about that? I think interesting skill set, that's the way of saying he's a really, really good all-around athlete.
Roethlisberger still has it, and he slides in front of Albright.
A little zone read, that's the new thing. Robert Griffin III, Cam Newton, all these young quarterbacks running this, and that was not a busted play. He faked it on purpose and kept it.
Boy, he got hit a little bit. Really, last week in his return, he didn't take any shots, even though they lost. That shoulder and rib injury that kept him out for 3 weeks. He had a little collision at the back end of this one.
Well, the great thing is, it was a good fake. He was wide open, and he ripped it up in there for about 2.5 yards. The defenses close fast in the NFL.
Well, for a quarterback, they don't want to see him taking hits for just 2 or 3 yards. Here's the throw over to Johnson, and he's got the first down, and he's pushed out. He's banged out of bounds. Gain of 13.
You're going to see this every once in a while with this Cowboy defense. They pressure the quarterback. They want to get to him, and there's not always a guy for all 5 receivers. That time, Johnson fakes the block against DeMarcus Ware, wide open. Good recognition by Roethlisberger.
All right, so the Steelers putting together their best drive. See the hit he took from Albright before? Wasn't worth the run, was it?
No, it was not. He did slide feet first, too. That's what you want to do to avoid the contact.
A timeout called by Roethlisberger here. Deepest penetration for the Steelers. Tomorrow on CBS, kick off your holiday with some Hawaiian sun. George Takei of Star Trek guest stars on a new Hawaii Five-0 tomorrow. Only CBS, America's #1 network. Jericho Conchery in for the Steelers. There's a wide out, 1st and 10. And getting tripped up, but still stumbling ahead. Redmond for 5. This Steeler offensive line, you see 66 in the huddle. The first-round draft pick out of Stanford, who missed the first 11 games with a knee injury, suffered in the preseason. Getting his first action today at right guard, which allowed them to shift Ramon Foster over to the side, usually manned by Willie Colon, who's out with an injury.
I think they're pretty excited about the future of this offensive line. You talk about the Castro, Beach on the right tackle, another rookie who's come in and played very well also. Of course, maybe the best center in football, Marquise Pouncey.
He goes left side and grounds. He did grab it for the short gainer. Now it's ruled incomplete.
Jim, you said it. They just haven't been the receivers. They're just not snatching the football out of the air cleanly. That's absolutely incomplete. It's, you think, it's a short pass. What's the big deal? Hey, in this league, 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 1, it's a big deal. 3rd and 1, they would call a play thinking if we don't make it, we'll go for it on 4th down. Cowboys have been hurt with the running game with their extra defensive backs in on 3rd down.
Shifting around in that secondary for Dallas on 3rd and 5. As Roethlisberger looks across the middle. Catch made by Conchery for the first.
Who leads the NFL in pump fakes, Jim?
Yeah, it's got to be this guy, number 7.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Looks to his right. Oh, let me hold on to this. And then throws it in there. Last week, he had 3 pump fakes on 1 play, then threw a touchdown to Mike Wallace in the end zone.
Conchery up today, and Plexico Burress inactive. Steelers, new set of downs, 22-yard line. Miller. And Connor wraps up another pump fake for you, Phil.
Yep. Anytime there's a zone defense, he can just do it. because people are going to react to it. And he does that. It allows Heath Miller to get across the formation. And I look at this Cowboy defense. They have to be pretty safe in vanilla. Can't do a lot because of all the new additions they have on the defensive side. When you got new players, you got to be careful what you ask them to do on the field.
2nd and 2. Got to stretch it out, and now fires it away. It looked like a little confusion on the part of the Steelers.
Well, the confusion was that Ben Roethlisberger didn't get it to the running back. Could it be linemen down the field? I was wondering if they would call that.
And Dwyer obviously didn't have the right assignment here.
See if Dwyer's looking for the football. He's looking for him. Ben, good job by him. Roethlisberger not giving it up. Was not going to make it there.
11th play of this drive coming up. 3rd and 2. Quick pass and incomplete. Over to Mike Wallace.
Even if he got it out there, it was not going to work. The Cowboy defense had it overloaded to this side. They're expecting a pass this way. And the quick upfield by Anthony Spencer, Roethlisberger can't make the throw because the outside pressure was too fast.
He's targeted Wallace now 5 times without a catch. 32 yards coming up from Sweesum. He's on a Pro Bowl stretch here. 25 of 26 on the season. And still with only 1 miss. Dead center. First came into the league as a Cowboy. Sean Sweesum connects from 32, and the Steelers have their first points of the day.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Note 2. The next big thing is here. And by the new film Jack Reacher, in theaters this Friday. This film is rated PG-13.
Gene Jones, Jerry Jones' wife, is responsible for the contemporary art featured at Cowboys Stadium. There's Mrs. Jones. They recently had a celebration in the stadium here for their 50-year anniversary back in October. Sweesum to kick it away to 3 Cowboys back deep. Harris and Armstrong among them, as well as Dunbar. And over the head of Harris. So Tony Romo and the Cowboys, 6 minutes to go in the half, and again, the way things broke earlier today, a Cowboy win here today would put them into a 3-way tie for the NFC East. The Giants falling big to Atlanta, and the Redskins winning without Robert Griffin.
You kept telling Jason Garrett about all these scenarios. He kept going to you, Tim. Just this
one
Sunday.
game at a time.
Just worried about nothing but winning this Sunday.
Boston again, having a great time of it on that matchup against Josh Victorian.
Well, the Steelers are not a great pass rushing team, but Tony Romo spread the football all around. Most of them to the outside, but that time 2 tight end throws up the seams. Why are those seams open? Because they're trying to protect the outside after the initial first quarter and a half. So you send the defensive backs outside, Tony Romo throws it inside to the tight ends.
Des Bryant to the sideline.
180!
Without a catch so far. The middle, and lined it out for the first. That's Murray. Probably they're going to give him the spot. Well, I'll tell you, one big fan of Tony Romo is Roger Staubach, who's here. There he is, the legend.
Yeah, back of the booth there, you can see him in the dark. And Roger Staubach, saw him on TV last week, the Army-Navy game. Looked great. Probably still wishes he could play.
It's going to be a 50-year anniversary of his Heisman year coming up this 2013. He's, of course, done so much for this city through the years, and now his daughter, Jennifer Gates, is running for City Council, District 13 this spring. First down picked up by the Cowboys. the current Heisman Trophy winner, will be playing here in the Cotton Bowl on January the 4th against DeMarco Murray's alma mater, Oklahoma. So A&M against Oklahoma.
That's an exciting game. I actually can't wait to watch it.
First ever Cowboy regular season game was at the old Cotton Bowl back in 1960, and the opponent was Pittsburgh, led by Highland Park High School quarterback Bobby Lane.
Say this about this Cowboy offense. They're keeping the Steelers defense off balance, mixing up the plays.
First and 10, and there is a hookup first of the day with Des Bryant. And he cradles that football with Timmons and Lewis all around him, but Bryant has a catch.
Well, we talked about the secondary of the Steelers. It is beat up. They have two of their top three corners out. They thought they could throw the football to the sidelines, and they're running it well enough. They keep it open so Tony Romo can do it. Jason Garrett, he knows this. Dick LeBeau has three rules for his defense. Don't get beat deep. Don't get beat deep. Tackle the pass catcher, and don't get beat deep. So these corners have to play it safe first.
Romo's thrown for 158. He's got a first and 10. Great blitz pickup, and Romo has the time to fire it incomplete. Victorian that time makes a very nice play on the ball.
How about that play is right?
Denying Miles Austin across the middle.
To cover Miles Austin that long and across the field. First off, how about the footwork and the presence of Tony Romo in the pocket? Another quarterback like Ben Roethlisberger. They never get flustered. They never get in a hurry. That's what allows them to always see the open guy down the field. When you throw about 10,000 passes as a quarterback, you get good presence where you don't panic and you relax back there.
Second and 10. Gets it away, and Witten tries to make a circus catch, incomplete. You look at Witten and you look at Miller, the two tight ends in this game. If you didn't know better, you'd think they were related.
You're right. They look alike. They play alike. Jason Witten does get the football thrown in his direction, over his career a lot more than Heath Miller. But they're tight ends that can do everything. They can play on the line of scrimmage. They can block. And it's well documented that they can catch the football.
Grew up about 90 minutes away from one another. Witten in Northeast Tennessee, Miller in Southwest Virginia. And that's going against Dallas and Smith.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, and still third down.
Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower. They'll update the scores here late this afternoon, try to sort things out on what's been a very important day around the NFL. It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
A name we have not heard today, LaMarr Woodley for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Healthy, back in the lineup, their best pass rusher. He's not in there right now, but the Dallas Cowboys protected Tony Romo very well so far.
Well, they're about to be penalized another 5. You saw Jason Garrett call the timeout. 3:12 to go in the first half.
A couple things on this play, Jim. Let's watch Tony Romo going to throw the football to his left side, and look where that left shoulder is. It's back, so now he can drive through the football. His right shoulder goes high, and he just drives it out to Des Bryant. Now watch this. He catches it with his body. Look where that left hand is. He lets it hit his body, his right hand, before he corrals the catch with his left hand. So, pretty big issue for Des Bryant catching his football today.
Boy, it really showed it right there, didn't it? 3rd and 15. That was earlier in this drive. And the Cowboys from the 42 would like to keep it out of the hands of the Steelers, who have excelled this year in scoring right before the half. Romo takes off and now flings it. Man is open as Bryant, but he runs a short route. He had to come back for it. He's going to be a couple yards shy, but we do have a flag out.
Boy, Larry Foote, number 50, got held big time.
Holding. Offense, number 47. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
It was Vickers.
Now, I thought they'd missed it, Jim. How about this Larry Foote? Let's watch number 50. Here he comes outside. Gets around. There's the right arm wrapped around him, the left arm, and keeps him from getting to the quarterback. Larry Foote leaves the Pittsburgh Steelers, goes to Detroit, and they say, what do they say? Well, you're not good enough to play with us.
Yeah, he played there 1 year, and back he comes.
And look at him now. How about his play so far this year, Jim? The tackles, every time we do a Steelers game, there's Foote on the play.
He's more active than he's ever been. He's really kind of fulfilled the role that James Farrier used to serve.
Good analogy. Doesn't come off the field, plays all 3 downs.
3rd and 25 and another flag.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
4th penalty on the Cowboys for the game. None so far on the Steelers.
Well, you've had good rhythm on the offensive side. You've kept the Steelers off balance with the play call and your execution. Now you just try to get off the field and punt it before you turn it over.
4 down. Under 50. Go.
They go down. Murray is met quickly by Ryan Clark, holding it to a gain of 3. Timeout called by the Steelers. I know you were looking for it.
Well, I was wondering if they did. Good job by Mike Tomlin managing the clock.
And here's the punt by Mormon. Fair catch called by Antonio Brown. 42-yard punt. 2 minutes, 11 seconds for Ben to work with.
Well, a lot of time. 2-minute warning, 1 timeout left. And this is always, I'm always intrigued by these situations. I know the Steelers are going to push it down the field. We saw it last week against San Diego, backed up inside their 10. They drove down when they had done nothing to get a field goal. But what does the defense do? You play it safe, that's what they'll do, probably until the 50-yard line, and then they'll get more aggressive.
Rainey's good for about 6. He'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Dallas leads it 10-3, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. 2 minutes to go in the first half. The Steelers have scored in the last 2 minutes. 10 of the 13 games. There's the target line for Sweesom, who's been Mr. Automatic this year. Already good today from 50. I should say 32. It was Bailey with the 50. And now here comes Roethlisberger to the line. 2nd and 4. Fields a low snap. Looks left and lobs it over the top, incomplete. Had his eye trained on Rainey. Albright, who's had a very productive and active first half, was on the coverage.
Yeah, he's so big. There's nowhere to throw this football. It's a little different game up front by this Cowboys defensive line. Nice pickup, but Ben Roethlisberger thought he was going to be under pressure, so he was looking to get rid of the football quickly.
Hold on. You guys all down, right?
Yeah. Hey, Mike, boy.
3rd and 4. Roethlisberger, and at the time, has the target. It's Miller. And a first down out to about the 46.
Watch Heath Miller, right side of your screen, number 83. A little route inside where he stops, he fakes, and then takes out, and takes off again. Tough for Danny McCray to stay with that.
Beats him for 13 yards.
Excellent call.
And he goes right back to Miller with McCray trying to man up on him. Gain of 6. And again, with just 1 timeout, they hurry to the line.
So many ways to go for a tight end inside. He can go right, left, up the field. And when you're bigger than the defensive back, tough for Danny McCray to get that done.
2nd and 4 as we near a minute. Here comes the blitz. Roethlisberger escapes, and he hits Brown in the open. And Brown is tossed touchdown at the 30-yard line by Sterling Moore.
Sometimes I think you do him a service by blitzing him. He escapes it, finds the coverage down the field. Hard to stay with him that long. Gets a big completion.
Timeout Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger driving the Steelers here right before the half. Makes another play after escaping a sack. First down at the Dallas 30. Open in the front and incomplete. And he was starting to stumble as that ball was headed his way.
Jim, you go back to the blitz before. Watch Albright. Here he comes, number 55, free. Uh-oh, look out. And even if he'd have got that arm out there around Ben Roethlisberger, he was never going to bring him down.
One of the things the Cowboys wanted to do this week, go after Roethlisberger around the waist. Don't try to tackle him high.
You go high, he's going to shake you off.
Still has not connected to this point with Wallace once today. 2nd and 10. Looking, and still has it. Still fakes it. All kinds of time, and now open is Miller, and Heath Miller's in for the touchdown.
How good was that?
That was all about the quarterback.
It was great. So many things. Breaking the tackles. Not panicking. And watch the pump fakes. This is why you rush 3 against him, so you can give one of these pass rushers time to get there. And the defense, when it has to stay on the field that long, Jim, it's going to break down. And that's what happened. Everybody got washed down inside. Heath Miller's uncovered to the outside.
I counted 3 pump fakes and about 2 pirouettes as Roethlisberger was spinning and dancing and makes something out of nothing again.
You know, you're right. He's bringing the pirouette into the repertoire because
Yeah.
we saw it last week against San Diego twice.
Miller with 3 catches on that drive for 49 yards and a touchdown. And Sweezum ties it at 10 with 34 seconds to go before the intermission.
Well, the only way to describe this play, what a play by Ben Roethlisberger. Heath Miller's over inside. And it doesn't throw it to him there. Then the other pump fake. And then finally the defense loses containment with the receivers.
I think he realized that first time when he was about to throw it to him. 93 here, Anthony Spencer might have been, in there.
Might have knocked it down.
Ready to knock it down for sure.
You know, that is one thing that I've seen this year from Ben Roethlisberger. He has pump faked quite a few times and not let the football go because he sees a defender jumping. Now that, look, I played the position. I can never hardly remember doing that. You let it go and they knock it down. You just go, well, shoot. Somebody block the guy so they can't get their arms up. But what a change of events for the Steelers. Really lackluster for a lot of this first half on both sides of the ball. Ben Roethlisberger, what a drive right before half.
Again, you give them that time. Last 2 minutes of the half, and they produce again. That's 10 points in a 5-minute and 29-second span. Remind you, coming up the Verizon halftime report, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cower, scores and highlights. Russell Wilson rushing for 3 first-half touchdowns. And Seattle continues to impress, leading Buffalo. So each team starting tight end with a touchdown. We compared the two who have met only once. That came at a Pro Bowl. They're both destined to be there, you got to think, this year again. And the Cowboys elect to do nothing with it. They will be receiving the second-half kickoff.
Yeah, it's the only play. Not even the fans agree. There's only mild booing. So they did the right thing. Take a knee, go in, regroup, get ready for the second half.
So the Cowboys controlled it for over a quarter and a half. And then the Steelers got things going. A Sweezum field goal and then the 30-yard touchdown pass. Roethlisberger improvising, finding Heath Miller to tie it. So that's the end of the first half with the score. Pittsburgh 10 and Dallas 10. We'll be back with the Verizon Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. You are listening to a Pepsi NFL anthem by Kelly Clarkson. Download this song and other NFL-inspired anthems at PepsiAnthems.com. Well, the Steelers on the road, their last road game of the regular season before going back for 2 closing games at home against Cincinnati and Cleveland. You go on the road, you got to be mistake-free as much as you can. That first half, no penalties, no sacks allowed, and here they are at 10-10. No giveaways either.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, I was going to say the Steelers look flat again like we saw them last week. We asked Mike Tomlin that question. What did he say? Hey, look, there's no magic words I got. Somebody's got to make a play. Well, I think his quarterback made a play. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. That was a big-time play by Roethlisberger, improvising and then finding Heath Miller for the touchdown. And again, this game's so vitally important to each side. If the Steelers win, suddenly that chance of winning the division that seemed very unlikely, improbable a couple of weeks ago, well, now Baltimore in a free fall. That division is not out of play for the Steelers or the Bengals. And if they win here today, they find themselves just a game out of first.
Oh, yeah. I think they noticed that score. I'm sure they did, Jim. Before they came out, they saw that Baltimore was losing big, and it gives you renewed hope.
And again, on the Cowboys side, if the Dallas Cowboys win, they would find themselves in a 3-way tie for first. So yet another touchback here. Redskins, what a victory today. So much of the Redskins' success has been totally centered around the quarterback, Robert Griffin III, and rightfully so. But how about the job by Mike Shanahan?
Well,
and the Giants today, just a disaster down in Atlanta. So
you know what Washington did? They showed you they can teach it round or they can teach it flat. And what I mean by that, it was a different offense today for Kirk Cousins. It worked. They got him ready during the preseason, and it paid off for him. How big did it pay off for him last week and this week?
They win on the road against a team that had won 3 straight, Cleveland.
Up there, 56.
So the Cowboys led 10-0 in this game. Now come out to start the second half with a quick toss over to Dez Bryant, and he's dragged down by Keenan Lewis. Gain of 7. Roethlisberger throws for 163 and a touch. This is Romo's connection for the score with Jason Witten. 158 yards, 2 quarterbacks, very similar numbers.
Good job by the Cowboys. Get the ball to Dez Bryant. Get him involved. Give him some confidence in that hand that he can catch it when he goes down the field.
2nd and 3, and they go with 3 tight ends. And it's Murray about a yard shy, although he tries to stretch it out. They'll have a mark at the 29. Murray now 10 carries for 64 yards on the game.
He's working hard for those yards, no doubt. Breaking a lot of tackles. Gets quite a bit after contact. Last week he made a 5-yard run where it was almost a miracle at the end of the game, and it was a big difference in them winning or losing.
Murray has not had a 100-yard rushing performance since the opener at the New York Giants. Of course, he missed 6 games with a foot injury. 3rd and 1. And it's Murray getting the call, and Murray is swamped by Timmons. Lawrence Timmons just rides him down for no gain, and the Steeler defense comes out and forces the punt.
Watching 94 goes across. The penetration by the defensive line allows him to go down the line of scrimmage, and DeMarco Murray has to hesitate, and when you hesitate against a defense that can flow like the Steelers, look out.
Ryan Moorman is the Cowboy punter. Took over for an injured Chris Jones early in the season. A former Buffalo punter. Boots it down to the 20. Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown powering ahead. And Brown is finally tackled by Hanna at the 50. So the momentum continues for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A 29-yard return to midfield. All right, the Steelers' first series of the second half, delivering scores the last 2 drives of the first half.
Block 80! Block it!
middle for 4.
Well, how about Ben Roethlisberger? We talked about it. Somebody make a play. There's your pirouette, Jim. The pump fake, slide in the pocket, and finally, 8.9 seconds. You cannot ask a defense to cover and stay in position that long. That was just a tremendous play by the quarterback.
2nd and 6. It's Dwyer again, and he snapped up after about a yard. How many times do you think you had 9 seconds in the pocket in your career?
Well, never 9 seconds for me, that's for sure. I wasn't going to move around like Ben Roethlisberger. I just said to somebody at halftime, he's probably pump fakes more in one game than a lot of quarterbacks pump fake in the whole season. It's just part of what he does, but it's like a mechanism that makes him relax, I think, sometimes before he makes the decision to throw the football.
Rob Ryan with wholesale changes on that defense on this 3rd down. 3rd and 5 from the Dallas 45.
Rob Ryan said he hated these pump fakes because you got to teach your defense, don't go with this first movement.
Backs it off. The pass was too low. And Dwyer, had it caught it, had the pass been on the mark, it would have been close to try to get the chase to the 40.
It would have been close. Good coverage this time. Good protection. Nobody open down the field. DeMarcus Ware, we haven't heard a lot about him or heard from him a whole lot today. Beats Ramon Foster inside.
There's Butler. Ball comes very close to the scoreboard. It bounds for the 2nd time in this game into the end zone for a short net of 25. A pair of 3 and outs to open up the 2nd half here in Dallas.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by BMW. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine.
Jim Nantz and Phil Simms back here at Cowboys Stadium. Cowboys and Steelers meeting for the 31st time all time. As Romo looking for options. Improvising as well, and he's going to duck ahead, pick up about 3. It's 15-15 all time between these two, including 3 matchups between the Steelers and Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Now, how about this? Just watch Tony Romo. Wants to throw it inside. It's covered. And look at all the feints, the pump fake, and one more time. And the coverage down the field. Initially, wants to throw it down here to the bottom of the screen. The coverage is there, nowhere to go. But the rest of the time, he's trying to avoid the Steelers' pass rush, so not able to find somebody open.
Really, these two quarterbacks can create things out of nothing with the best of them. Maybe the 2 best.
I tell you, in the pocket, moving, finding ways to throw it, I'm not going to argue.
2nd and 6. Pass it this time. Lowers the shoulder and stays in the field of play. Out to the 39.
Josh Victorian is a small defensive back. You're not going to come up and just hit somebody and blow them up. You got to get your arms around them. We've seen this about 3 times today. You must use your arms, get them around the legs of these running backs and receivers. They will go down. But Vickers, like a lot of Dallas Cowboy fullbacks, Jason Garrett, when he played here, it was Moose Johnson. The fullback's got to block, and he's got to be able to go out and catch passes.
It's like he didn't even feel that first hit. Moved ahead for a gain of 15 on 1st and 10. And it's Murray. How about the way Tony Romo throws the football? I know you love the technical parts of it.
I think he's one of the best in the NFL. Watch how he turns his left shoulder back as he steps forward to throw the football. And the biggest thing of all, look at the angle of the right arm. It never changes. That's why he's accurate, can throw the football down the field with power and spin it too, which makes it easy for receivers to catch him.
He's a real student of the game, isn't he?
Well, he's a great golfer, and he does the same thing with his throw motion, always thinking of ways to get better and refine it, and it shows in his play.
He's got a 2nd and 6. From the 43, here comes the blitz. Unloads it. Finds his target. It's Harris for the 1st down. You vote, they play. You can send your favorite players to the 2013 Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Vote online at NFL.com/Pro Bowl. Voting ends tomorrow night.
Man, that was a good throw by Romo. Blitz, guy coming free, just stays on his back foot and rips it to the sideline for a first down.
And now the Cowboys operate from midfield. Take the hand off the Murray, and here comes another spin move. And yet another, and he's not getting away. He's not getting away from Lawrence Timmons. Harrison forced the pressure at first, and that's the first sack in this game today, and it's a big one.
Yeah, Lawrence Timmons is not on a blitz. He's outside waiting for the running back or tight end to come out, and he just reacts to Tony Romo. He's fast. They thought he was going to be an outside linebacker, Jim, when they drafted him, but he has found a spot inside, and I don't think he wants to get away from this inside linebacker position.
He was all pumped up. We saw him last night off the team plane. They had watched the movie Premium Rush, and he said, that's what we need to apply. We need more sacks.
He's right. They do. They got to pressure the quarterback better.
Back over to Harris. Gets away from two Steelers, and Harris makes up yardage and advances the football to the Steelers side of the field. He got away from Victorian and Timmons.
Well, you said it, Dwayne Harris, he can return punts, and he knows how to maneuver in the open field. How about that? He was going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, gets around him without getting touched, and then breaks tackles down the field.
Well, he picks up 18 after they'd given away 13 on the sack. And this kid, Harris, second-year player out of East Carolina, is starting to get a lot of the looks that were going early in the year to Kevin Ogletree.
Right. Instead of running the draw play, you throw screens to the outside in second and long man.
3rd and 5, and Romo has Beasley for the first. The rookie from SMU has the first down.
That's the position you think the Steelers could be weak in today. And it's a breakout by the slot defender. We talked about it. That's usually Cortez Allen, who's really one of the top echelon slot receiver cover defensive backs. And that time you have a safety, Golden, trying to cover.
A couple of catches today for Cole Beasley. And the Cowboys keep on motoring at the 37. Romo 6 of 6 on
180.
the second half. He gets 7 for 7. Over to Miles Austin, and Austin up ahead for a first.
This could have been a double play. Could have been a run and a screen, and it's up to Tony Romo to make the decision. I always think you get a soft defense and you get Miles Austin out there like that, you don't need a lot of room because, man, he can use those legs and his power and get you 4 or 5 yards.
That time 13 yards. 7 for 79 on the game for Miles Austin.
Miles Austin full speed again, getting over those hamstring injuries that have plagued him so much in his career.
And again, first down from the 24. Romo to the end zone, and Bryant has another score for the 6th game in a row. Dez Bryant finds the end zone.
What a drive by the Cowboys. Really mixed the plays up well. And once again, though, Jim, when they get down inside the 30, they love to take the shots. And this is just, I'm going to beat you deep down the field. What a throw by Tony Romo, back shoulder.
And he beats Keenan Lewis. 6 games in a row, 8 touchdowns overall in that 6-game span.
Didn't hurt that hand that time.
Bailey with the extra point. Dez Bryant, some question whether he should have the surgery on the broken finger ending his season, but he wanted to play, and he's got the touchdown for the lead. It was an 80-yard drive by Dallas. And actually, because of the sack, which backed them up 13, Romo threw for 89 yards in all on the drive.
He's been pinpoint today so far, Tony Romo.
The 10th touchdown of the season for Dez Bryant, who went over 1,000 for the season last week in the game against Cincinnati. And a little squib kick. Paid it. Comes up to Paulson. And Paulson will give him excellent field position at the 40. Pittsburgh will be pleased with that.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Gangster Squad. In theaters January 11th. And by Fidelity Investments. Take control of your personal economy.
And grilling and chilling with the Iron Chef, Tim Love, Lonesome Dove.
Big Cowboy fan.
Yeah, always creating us something unique. Creative. From the 40. Steelers. And Paulson taking a squib kick to a good starting point. Roethlisberger again. Fake, and he is sacked for the first time today. That is Marcus Spears, his first sack of the whole season.
How about that? Marcus Spears, 96, is a run stopper. There's the pump fake, but he keeps working, and that's what really I think the Cowboys were hoping today. Rush 3 guys, get extra guys in coverage. He's looking inside Ben Roethlisberger. Nobody was open. Rob Ryan trying to work around all the injuries on the defensive side. You got to be careful what you do. Got a lot of inexperienced players on the defensive side.
2nd and 12. And Roethlisberger pump fake and airs it out deep. Wide open is Wallace. And Wallace has the catch at the 1. He got behind the Dallas defense. Sensible and McCray. And it's a 60-yard play for Pittsburgh.
It's a 3-man rush again, and Ben Roethlisberger knows it. How about that pump fake? And it's everything he's got to throw this football down to Mike Wallace. I thought Sensible was going to get back there in time to knock it, but he can't find the ball quick enough. And Rob Ryan knows it. My gosh, when you play the Steelers, stay deeper than the deepest receiver.
Flags are out.
12 men on the field.
12 men on defense. It's a half the distance penalty. Still 1st and goal.
Wallace's first catch of the day after being targeted 6 times goes for a big one.
Yeah. 12 guys on the field, you can count them, and you're allowed to have 12 on the field as a defense. You just got to get the guy off before the offense is ready to snap the football.
Dwyer's the tailback. He gets the call, and Dwyer straight ahead. No signal. Now, touchdown.
From the top, you can tell Jonathan Dwyer just does get the football on that white line. The nose of it gets across. It's a touchdown.
He ran right behind Will Johnson. And then he still had to fight for it. De Castro in that pile, seeing his first real action.
They're waiting since it was a score, it's looked upstairs before they give it clearance. Was he clearly in the end zone?
They're going to review it. They are going to double check it. Dwyer, who had his first career touchdown 2 weeks ago at Baltimore, may have a second. Jonathan Dwyer, 3rd-year man out of Georgia Tech.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The result is a touchdown.
He has his second touchdown in 3 weeks. Took the Steelers 1 minute and 47 seconds to answer the Dallas touchdown. Of course, the bulk of it coming on the 60-yard hookup, Roethlisberger to Wallace. And now Sweesom to tie the game at 17. Kid Jonathan Dwyer is the youngest running back on the roster for the Steelers, and they've been giving him a chance to really take this job, and they want that workhorse mentality out of him. And at just 23 years old, he was drafted in that spring of 2010. He was only 20 years old. Raised in the Atlanta area, where he was raised to be a humble man. Taught that by his dad. Be a man of standards and good character is what Tony Dwyer, his father, told him. Tony and Kelly Dwyer have to be very proud of their son, the way he does conduct himself. We've met with him a few times. Nobody knows the game though like a quarterback. We'll break down all the NFL action on NFL Monday QB tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern. Only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home.
Yeah, you know what they should name that show? It's Rich Gannon, Steve Burl, and myself, the quarterbacks. It's Adam Shine yelling at the quarterbacks. He's always yelling at us.
I find a hard time
believing
that. Yeah. What do you think the subject matter is tomorrow?
Oh, geez. There's going to be a lot of good stuff tomorrow. That's for sure.
You'll be the one in there yelling.
Not me. But that completion, the two plays by Ben Roethlisberger today, the throw to Mike Wallace and the scramble that's why this game is tied.
And Sweezum drills that one.
Let's see what happened on that long completion, Jim. Mike Wallace down here at the bottom of the screen. And what happens to the defense? They're back. Basically, he's double covered. There's Mike Jenkins. You got a safety, McCray. And boy, the Steelers wanted to do this. Get a wide receiver on the safety. I've been looking for it today, and that's what they finally got the situation they wanted, and Ben Roethlisberger made the heave down the field. But tough for Danny McCray having a wide receiver, maybe the fastest in the NFL, coming straight at you thinking he is going to cover that guy deep. That is impossible.
Takes the short dump-off pass to Murray. The option was there, and he's got 9. Romo drove him 80 yards the last time. 7 of 7 on that last series, including the touchdown throw to Bryant.
Well, let's think about the game that Tony Romo's had today. It's almost perfect. He's making the right decisions. Hasn't thrown any footballs where you could say, oh, that could have been intercepted. So Jason Garrett said it. He's really just playing his game, not taking chances, and he said, absolutely, the guys on the Dallas Cowboys, they look up to Tony Romo now.
On 2nd and 1. Coming back in, picking up the first down is Murray. Into the 41-yard line.
Well, the Steelers, I've seen this a couple times today. They're in position. Somebody's got to go make the tackle. And DeMarco Murray, you've said it, Jim, the guy's determined. And the big thing, look at the offensive line. John Phillips at the end of the line of scrimmage blocks James Harrison. Nobody wraps up the running back.
So Murray now up to 76 yards on 12 attempts. And Romo moving in on 300, which hasn't gone against the Steeler defense in 20 games. He finds Witten. The ball squirted out for a moment, but he smothers it. Did they call that a catch?
That's going to be a catch, I think, Jim. Had possession, went to the ground.
And they ruled him down. Catch goes.
Ruled him down.
Felix Jones enters the game, flanking Romo to the right. Jones gets the carry. Jones works hard for that first down yardage. He's about a foot short. Larry foot, in fact. Stops it after a gain of 4.
Well, here's what's happened so far today for this Pittsburgh's defense or Dallas's offense. Their plan, throw the football outside against the defensive secondary that is beat up. They have done that. And then when they go to help it, they've been throwing it inside.
They're going to have a measurement here.
So the Cowboys one step ahead on the offensive side of the Steeler defense. Looks like it's going to be a little short. Not that you're keeping count, Jim, but I'm 100% so far today. Yeses.
It's tough being perfect all the time.
It makes me 40% for the year.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, be careful.
Well, right again.
No, I'm feeling good this week. You know why, right?
You won your fantasy football game.
Yeah, that's right.
I know that's what it boils down to, right?
Because it was against you.
Yeah, okay. Surprised it took you till the late third quarter to get that out.
A humble man.
Next Saturday, Big 12, Big 10 basketball. Kansas and Ohio State. Both teams were in the Final Four last year down in New Orleans, and they'll be tangling next week right here on the home of the NCAA championship on the road to Atlanta this year.
I know the Steelers, just to go back to it again, they were hoping to help the corner situation out today, but it's hard to do. Cowboys got a lot of weapons that can catch the football and spread the field.
Third and a foot. A fake. Romo is met by Harrison. James Harrison was right there and says, "How do you do?" A loss of 4.
Fake was great, but we got a defense on the other side that's played a lot of games, and they've played them together, and why they're good is because they're disciplined. And how about James Harrison? Never left his position and was all over the quarterback keep.
Boy, I thought it was a good fake by Romo, but Harrison stood his ground. He was right there. Never got out of position. And Mormon earns the fair catch. Ball comes out. Antonio Brown still has it, and the Steelers will take over, seeking a first lead of the day.
Look at 92 to your right of your screen. Gets hooked inside.
That was the play that got him within a foot.
Yes, that got him within a foot. I was going to say, wait, James Harrison got hooked.
Man, he got over there early.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me with him, though, Jim. So, but what a job, being disciplined, knowing your job, and not trying to do something else. The Steelers call it, don't be a cowboy. Don't try to be a star and do somebody else's job. Just do yours.
Last minute of the third quarter. Yes, Redmond saw nothing up the middle, so he cut left, and he's still chugging along. Mike Jenkins thought he threw him out of bounds, but Redmond's still going. Now they say he's out. What an effort by Isaac Redmond.
How many times have we seen it today? Guys, you just can't hit the guy and think these runners are going to go down or just sling him out of bounds. I mean, look at Isaac Redmond. He's built to have balance.
And he's hurt here, too. Tiptoeing down the sideline. Picks up 22.
Didn't see where he could have done it, but it was a borderline great run. Gets him in wonderful field position. Now you can open up the offense.
He's had ankle problems, and he goes to the bench. First and 10. Good throw. Wallace cuts to the sideline, and again it's Jenkins. He shoves him toward the bench. $20-yard gain. He's going to run out the quarter.
Block it, come underneath. Good call, good execution.
Only 2-yard run by Redmond. 20-yard pass play to Wallace. The Steelers are moving. The game is tied, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. Steelers Cowboys coming to the fourth quarter before 95,000 plus, and the game tied. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms. Steelers trying to move within a game of the division lead. Cowboys trying to force a three-way tie in their division. First and 10. Roethlisberger in trouble and just throws it away as it was Anthony Spencer breaking through in a hurry.
He's outside the pocket. The football went past the line of scrimmage.
And it's just incomplete. No grounding. Spencer, you've been saying today, has had his best year.
Yeah, number 93, he's the MVP of this defense so far this year. Is Rob Ryan said he's a monster against the run, and he's getting pressure on the quarterback too. And Jim, we talked to him, he's been outstanding all year.
Well, Roethlisberger fell on that right shoulder, and he was stretching it out.
You saw it in the first half when he had that one run. He got up and he acted like got away with one, could have got hurt.
Second and 10. No pressure. Fires there. Caught inside the 20 by Hatchery.
How about that throw?
How about Redmond, who was hurt just a couple of plays earlier, picks up the blitz on Ware.
Comes in. DeMarcus Ware is going to get to Ben Roethlisberger, and you're right, Redmond heads up, comes across and blocks him and gives Roethlisberger that extra time, and that is how you go up, make the catch, and pull it in. And what a job by Cotchery.
If Roethlisberger aggravated that shoulder and rib area on the sack to play before, you wouldn't know it with that throw. His last 4 completions have all gone for at least 20 yards. Into 15. It's Redmond. After he went limping to the bench, I didn't think he would be returning. That Cowboy defense, by the way, without Ernie Sims, Rich Dalrymple, the fine communications director with the Cowboys, sending up word that Sims was injured in that first half with a concussion, and that's why we haven't seen him back. The Steelers, who were down 10-0 in the first half of this game, did not put points on the board until the 6-minute-to-go mark in the first half. And now they insert Chris Rainey at running back. 2nd and 6. Across the middle to Wallace. Sensabaugh sends him back. Picks up 4.
Good job by Ben Roethlisberger. Step up in the pocket. Finds Mike Wallace. And what goes through my head right now, Jim, you watch the game, I think even the fans are sitting here going, we can't believe it's 17-17 and we might fall behind, because the Cowboys overall have out-executed the Steelers football team. But Ben Roethlisberger, 2 special plays, has really kind of been the difference and kept the Steelers in it.
And the Cowboys also gave the football away in that first half from the 7-yard line. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's never given away the whole season in the red zone. 3rd and 2. Roethlisberger looks, throws, got his man, and Brown's in for the touchdown. Antonio Brown.
Well-designed play. What they do, they stack the receivers, and it gives Antonio Brown free release with inside technique. So the guy that's covering him, you see him, is so far inside that he can't get back out there. So that's a tough assignment for Mike Jenkins, and really nothing he can do. And that's a nice catch by Antonio Brown.
And the presence of mind just to make sure to cross the plane. A touchdown for the 2nd straight week for Brown and the Steelers.
That's why you do that. You put the receivers one behind the other. It makes for the defensive backs. It makes it hard for them to be aggressive.
And the Steelers have their first lead of the game. Up 7 with a little more than 12.5 to play. Antonio Brown, he missed 3 games mid-season, but he's back now, making plays. Around the league, the Texans take the division, beating the Colts today. Can finish no worse than a 3 seed, but still in the first position at the moment. Rodgers and the Packers clinch their division, the NFC North. And how about the red-hot Denver Broncos? Big day for Eric Decker. 9 straight wins as Baltimore falls again for the 3rd straight week.
Kirk Cousins, Denver, the secret in Denver is nobody's paying attention, is that defense is playing very well.
Squeeze him. Have this one returned. Harris stumbles up ahead, runs into the arms of Mundy. Same as a touchback to the 20.
Well, Jim, let me show you how easy it was for the Steelers to get this touchdown. The receivers are stacked. So here's Mike Jenkins. He has the inside receiver. Carr has the outside. Well, what do you do when they both go outside? That's the weakness of the defense. The Steelers were expecting that coverage, and they took advantage of it.
Total yards, identical. Number of plays, one more by the Steelers. But Pittsburgh has the lead. Coming back from 10 down. Romo sends it over to Murray. Nice slash, and Murray has a first down. And a gain of about 12. The escape Victorian.
Well, it's DeMarco Murray. You know what it looks like? The guy that we saw last year. He's fighting off injuries, overcoming, and it takes a while for these guys to recover and get back to 100%. But you can see the power's there, that quickness, and really looks good today.
Yep, missed again 6 games overall with a foot injury. That's his 3rd catch of the day. And Romo, Tony has completed 11 straight throws. Make it 12, over to Whitman. Larry Foote rides out of bounds with him at the 41 with a flag.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
The left guard, Nate Livings. And that's a big penalty against the Cowboys, trying to regain some momentum.
You said it, number 71, left guard. Oh, he does get his hand up there on Brett Kiesel.
Yeah, up in the grill.
Yeah, he just wanted to touch that beard.
Again, the Steelers have not been penalized in this game once.
No turnovers, no penalties, no sacks. 1 sack.
1st and 20. Back to Whitman they go. 3 Steelers come to them. Whitman flattens one unsuspecting witness on the sideline. Mike Taylor's over there helping out the gentleman. Welcome to the NFL.
I can go home and tell everybody, yeah, I took his best shot.
Yeah.
It's not that tough.
He's out here slapping around. I wouldn't try it twice, though.
No.
2nd and 14. Flings it. A little too much zip. A little too high for Witten that occasion.
Well, he just was being careful. That's all it was. That's why he had that little second look, because he wanted to make sure. It's a dangerous route. Lawrence Timmons has probably seen that route 100 times so far this year, and you worry about the linebacker undercutting it.
There's Timmons. Told us last night it's that time of the year to put up or shut up.
And you said yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought he was talking to me. 3rd down and 14. Movement on the left side, and the Cowboys will now face 3rd and 19.
All start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I was getting ready to say, well, the Cowboy fans are making too much noise when their offense is on the field. Then I looked around and realized it's about 15,000 terrible towels waving. That's the noise.
2nd false start call on the day against Smith. The Cowboys 7 times penalized. They're the 2nd most penalized team in the league. The Texas-sized terrible towels for sure. Need to get to the 43 for a first, and Romo's going long for Bryant. Bryant shielded and shut off that time by Keenan Lewis. Well covered.
Well, if you want to stay on the field as a defensive back for the Steelers, you better not get beat deep down the sideline. Lawrence Timmons makes Des Bryant go around him, and Keenan Lewis in good position the whole time.
Foreman back out to punt. First 11 years in the league, he never had a punt return for a touchdown. Now this season, he's had 2 brought back. Big time boot here. Down at the 15. Brown takes it up the middle. Here comes another long return against Mormon and the Cowboys, and he lost the ball. He lost the ball at the 44-yard line. And the Cowboys have it. He had returned it some 30 yards, but then John Phillips fell on it.
Well, the football's away from his body. That is it. You know, we saw those fumbles a couple weeks ago by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They talked about when you feel like there's going to be somebody around you, get the football near your body, protect it with 2 hands.
It was Victor Butler who reached in. It caused the fumble, and there's Phillips to smother it. Yeah, they had all those fumbles in that game against Cleveland. They lost 5 fumbles, 8 giveaways in all, but this is the first time today they give the football away.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger realizes good
Ruling
field
on the field
position.
is confirmed. First down, Dallas.
They had a chance to put this game away. But you're right, Jim. We did the game after Cleveland, and we got a little education ourselves on what the Steelers were telling all their players with the football in your hand how to protect it.
First down, play action fake. Romo steps up and flings it over to Bryant. And Lewis will spin him back. Forward progress, though, will be all the way up to the 31. And a gain of about 13.
Yeah, it was an easy read for Tony Romo. They had a formation trying to even out the defense. But look, everybody, Troy Polamalu back middle, he knows he has one guy on the backside of the defense, and you have to play safe when you're against Des Bryant.
Romo now right at 300 yards passing. First time the Steelers have allowed a 300-yard passer since Joe Flacco. Middle of the season a year ago. 20 games back. And Murray.
Ryan Clark, I know we haven't talked about him a lot today, but he has come up inside and made some tackles. This guy, we say it all the time, just doesn't get enough credit. He learned and did a tremendous job with Will Allen back there when Troy Polamalu was out. And then you watch him this year, or the last couple games with Troy Polamalu in there. Watch 25 sneaking up there, knows exactly where to go, where the lane is, and makes the tackle. And changed his game, Jim, with a different safety back there with him. That tells you smart and very talented.
Trying to cash in off the Brown fumble. Second down and 8. Witten, Polamalu. He was trying to strip that football, but I believe it's going to be another Cowboy first down.
Steelers are trying everything. There's no answers. Cowboy team and the quarterback is playing very well. Romo off the back foot. Again, it's that arm angle. That makes him so quick with the football, and that's why he is an extraordinary off-balance thrower.
First down indeed, just outside the 20. Des Bryant is out. Dwayne Harris comes in for him. Ogletree as well. Romo over to Harris. Sidesteps Lewis. Inside the 10. It dives down to the 4. This is why he's earning more reps.
Open field, you said it. 2 defenders out there with 2 receivers. It's a fake. Could have been a double play. Could have been a run or throw the screen outside, and Romo likes the screen. Why not? As you said it, Harris, again, open field. You can't bring him down.
Watch Polamalu fly right over him.
I think he was trying to jump over the top to get the ball.
First and goal for the Cowboys. Murray, the running back, trying to tie this game with 7 minutes to play. Going to throw for it. Left side and incomplete. And then Bryant, harnessed with that injured finger, unable to take that one.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. even with the healthy finger, but it's a perfect throw by Tony Romo, back shoulder. Nothing could go wrong. The only thing I would say bad about it, there was a lot of steam on this football.
Yeah, it had some heat.
It did. Well, I'll tell you what. You get a little nervous when you get near that end zone. You throw in those tight quarters.
I could hear it whistling all the way up here. 2nd and goal. Again up top. Lobbing to Bryant. Knocked down by Lewis. He was slow to get up. They can't afford to lose him.
This is all out. The Steelers send everybody on the blitz, put all the pressure on Keenan Lewis to play one-on-one on the outside.
Interesting play calls back-to-back. Throws from the 3-yard line to a man who's playing with one hand.
I'll tell you this, though. That play, you're right, Jim. You could throw to the other side, but they were not going to run the football. The Steelers just said, we're going to make you throw it by sending everybody at Tony Romo.
And they're taking Lewis off the field. And this is getting pretty dire for them. Curtis Brown comes in. And they were already playing their 6th and 7th DBs because Cortez Allen goes out with the groin. Taylor remains out.
I'll tell you what, if you don't score here, what do you do if you're Jason Garrett? Do you kick the field goal, go for it on 4th down? I'm going to say from 3 yards out, I kick the field goal.
I think you got to go field goal if you don't pick up anything. Too much time.
Too much time. You still...
As Bryant now is guarded by Curtis Brown, the second man from the University of Texas. 3rd and goal. Now they run it. Emory straight ahead for the touchdown. What a call.
They had them all off the line of scrimmage thinking pass. Boy, Jason Garrett, that's where you you throw to Little as a play caller, because if this doesn't work, everybody's going to boo. They're going to blame you in the press. But look at everybody's catching with the Steelers. Nobody's attacking because they expected pass.
Tyron Smith, by the way, with a big block of Lawrence Timmons. And now Bailey ties it at 24. The 3-yard touchdown run by DeMarco Murray. And we have our 3rd tie of the day.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by your holiday technology gift-giving matchmakers at Radio Shack. Windows 8. And by AT&T. Rethink possible.
We're back at Cowboys Stadium where Dallas has just tied it. DeMarco Murray handles the final 3 yards and scores a touchdown for the 3rd consecutive game. Again, Bailey is going to draw. No, he's not going to draw the touchback. Rainey's going to come out with it. And Rainey takes it to the 24. He's 9 yards deep. How about DeMarco Murray? Earlier in the game, he coughed it up inside the 10. But then on a crucial 3rd and goal call.
How about this run?
They go right back to him.
They go back to him. You said it during the commercial. If that wouldn't have worked, 2 passes, then a run. Oh my gosh, this place would have gone crazy. And Jason Garrett, after making that 3rd down call, had a little smile on his face because he knew he took the gamble, did the opposite of what everybody expects, and it worked.
DeGuire for no gain. Maybe a yard. Wednesday in prime time, JB and Chris Collinsworth and Phil Simms showcase America's favorite game with their own unique style inside the NFL. Wednesday, primetime, showtime.
Yeah, you got to watch this week. I'm going to be Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to be a really nice Santa Claus or
I think we know the answer to that.
Or an angry Santa Claus.
How about having Kiesel in there? Let him play the role.
Everybody in our truck is going on the Grinch. I mean, who are you talking about?
2nd and 9 from the 25. Over to Steps out, first down.
How about these quarterbacks today? Two of the best in the NFL. There's no question about it. They got the talent. You give them the opportunity. They take advantage of it. And then when it's not there, they can still make it happen. That's what separates them and puts them into a different group.
Down, Roethlisberger lofts it, and the fullback out of the backfield makes the over-the-shoulder catch. They give it to him, Will Johnson.
Boy, good job getting his feet down. It was close. But again, how about the play? Clear out the outside, and Will Johnson on a little out and up. 1, 2, good job. Possession of the football.
21 yards. Like to welcome those of you who have been watching Kansas City and Oakland. And the Raiders come up with a shutout today. And 5 Janikowski field goals to win it 15-0. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms. A great one brewing here in Dallas. Steelers. First down throw over the Brown. And he's got a gain of about 3. Again, here is what's riding on this one for each side. A whole lot of interested viewers all over the NFL in places like Baltimore and Cincinnati. As you see the way things are going in the AFC North, this could have Baltimore's lead by 1, not only over the Bengals, but also Pittsburgh if the Steelers prevail. And then the interested parties, of course, in New York and Washington, D.C., where the Redskins and Giants are both 8-6, and the Cowboys can make it a 3-team party if they win it here. 2nd and 7. Draw, it's Dwyer. He backs into about the 36-37 and getting into field goal range for Suisse.
This Steeler offense, this is what Todd Haley kind of envisions, what we're seeing today. Throw the football outside on short passes. Keep the defense off balance. Try to have a little power running it, and every once in a while take a shot down the field. But the big thing, which they've done here, limit the hits on their quarterback. They have done that this year. Going to keep this number 7 playing a long time for the Steeler offense.
Let's see what Haley sends in on 3rd and 4. Roethlisberger's hit his last 6 passes. He's going up top again, or is he? The Cowboys bring him down and take him probably out of field goal range. Spencer finishes him off. Ware got to him first.
It's a really good point, Jim. It'll be interesting to see. I think you can make a field goal here inside of 55 yards. But the coverage down the field, they got him wired. There's nowhere to go with it. Protection was good.
They're going to go punt. It was not a great snap.
Oh, no, but he gets his eyes right up down the field.
So they'll bypass what would be about a 56, 57-yarder for Suisse, who has a career long of 52.
Doing the right thing, got to punt it.
And this punt hits at the 7, and then is caught in the air at the 10-yard line by Brandon Johnson. Cowboys are backed up. 2:54 to play, tied at 24. Welcome back to Cowboy Stadium. From the 12-yard line, the Cowboys start this series. 2:54 to play. Keenan Lewis is not out here in that secondary. Injured hip. But he's on the sideline, looks poised to get back in there. And they go to his side. Ball incomplete. And that's all about the hand, all about the,
no question,
the finger for Bryant.
Got to catch it first before you move with it. Tony Romo found the right spot to throw the football. Soft coverage to the left. Of course, Troy Polamalu, he just came out of nowhere.
As he so often does.
But look at his hands, not his hands, his eyes did not follow the football. That's why he dropped it.
He would have only gone for about 3 anyway. 2nd and 10. Underneath. And Murray has about 4. Robert Golden brings him down.
There's both of these teams. You sit here, the time on the clock, both have 3 timeouts. Tony Romo going to the hurry up.
You saw Keenan Lewis, that was on the sideline. The starting corner who remains out. 3rd and 6.
I don't disagree going with this play before the 2 minute, or make it quick, Jim, because if you don't get it, you still can use your timeouts.
Yep. The catch is made, but it's short of the first. You ready for the gutsiest call of the year? Do you punt it back 4th and a foot?
Yes.
Yeah. 2 minutes to go in Dallas. Tony Romo pleading with the coaches. 4th and inches. Let's go for it.
Yeah, listen, there's some interesting things here. If you went for it and didn't make it, Jim, the fact that you have 3 timeouts, the Steelers would probably run it 3 times and kick the field goal, and you still would have time maybe to tie the football game up. You punt it, what do you think your chances are of stopping Ben Roethlisberger in this situation to keep them from trying to get a winning field goal?
Well, they go with Norman. Watch out for Antonio Brown. He did fumble the last one, but they've had some good returns. That is a short kick. Generous, big-time bounce. Huge away to the 20. Misjudged by Antonio Brown.
He was so far back, he could not get up there to catch the punt, which was not that short. In this field, that ball's been bouncing on it all day long.
59-yard punt to the 20.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by New York Life Insurance Company. And by This Is 40, the sort of sequel to Knocked Up, in theaters this Friday.
Pittsburgh takes over at the 20, and look at this. Antonio Brown was standing 60 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
How far did the punt travel in the air?
42, bounced 17 for 59 total.
How about that? You've got to be able to catch a 42-yard punt in the air. It was high also.
He thumped his chest, looked at the bench, and said, my mistake. Both teams have all their timeouts as Roethlisberger brings it, and it's incomplete. Coming around on that ball was Michael Coe, the former Giant. By the way, next Sunday, regional action here on CBS, and many of you are going to see the Bengals at the Steelers on the 40-year anniversary to the day of the Immaculate Reception. Wow. And, of course, so much will be riding on that one. Bengals, Steelers, headlines the day. All begins with the NFL today at noon Eastern time.
Cowboy defensive front. Stay in your rush lanes. Do not let the quarterback move. If he moves, you're in trouble.
2nd and 10. Roethlisberger finds Brown for the first down at the 31. We have a flag. It might be roughing the passer. Marcus Ware.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 94, below to the head. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, and a first down.
Oh, no question about that.
Yeah, and that's not always a penalty when you hit the quarterback in the head with your hand, but that is with force. So that makes it a personal foul and 15 yards.
A huge 15 yards. It has Roethlisberger a bit dazed.
Sure.
Ball all the way out to the 46. And it's setting up for Suizen, who's already won 3 games this year. 1 in overtime and 2 with no time left.
And all the good you got out of that punt not being caught is now gone.
Roethlisberger in trouble. Roethlisberger, they've got him by the waist, and they take him down. Sean Lissamore.
Rob Ryan takes a chance. They cross blitz inside, and they forget to pick up the defensive lineman, Sean Lissamore. Rob Ryan has been conservative, very conservative by his standards. He needed the big play, and he came up with it.
Timeout Steelers. They're first. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Steelers and the Cowboys. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms, Lance Barrow, and Mike Arnold and the crew. What a game with so much hinging on this one. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety right after the game, except on the West Coast where it will be seen in its normal time.
You know, you always hear, you need to keep stuff in your pocket if you're a coordinator when the big moment comes. And Rob Ryan, how about that? You can't let this offense keep going. So he showed them something different, and the Steelers made a mental mistake and did not block the defensive lineman.
It'll be 2nd and 18. Trouble again, and they've sacked him for a second straight play. Anthony Spencer.
If I was the Dallas Cowboys need to call a timeout, and they did.
Another loss of 8. It'll be 3rd and 26.
They were going to try to block it up that time. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they did not send but 3 people out. They got a tight end in to block. And Anthony Spencer, like he's done all year long. Boy, he talked about it this offseason. Worked really hard with his brothers. I said, who won those matches? He said he did.
Yes, he did.
Adrian and Andrew, but just strong, in great shape, and able to stay on the field almost for every single play by this Cowboys defense.
Look how the Dallas defense is set up right now on 3rd and 26.
Yeah, don't give them a 20-yard completion here because it's field position also.
They've got Sensible all the way back at the far 40. They've got 6 DBs that are at least 15 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Easier to come forward.
And Roethlisberger goes underneath it all. And Brown goes out to the 40. He should not have gone out of bounds. Could have forced the Cowboys to take another timeout.
Yeah, look how deep they are. And, you know, this part I agree with Jim because see the football thrown, then rally to it. And going out of bounds, another big mistake. Keeps the Cowboys with 2 timeouts.
4th sack of Roethlisberger in this game. 3rd in the quarter. Coming on those 2 back-to-back plays. Those were huge 1st and 2nd down sacks.
Well, when they needed it, they got it. Beautiful.
Butler. Harris. Gets away from Brown. Harris taken off. Harris past the 30. Past the 40. And all the way to the Pittsburgh side of the field with 47 seconds.
How about this kid?
He tried to dupe him on the catch. Had that little pause, that hesitation, and takes it 40 yards.
Yep, he gave him the little skip, just a little slow. There it was. That was enough. The blocking's good. And when you watch him do the games, he plays like this. He even practices like this. He caught passes on Friday, and he was dodging people, running 40 yards for touchdowns.
Tony Romo watching it unfold.
Steelers got to be aggressive on the defensive side.
And now perhaps it comes down to the right foot of Dan Bailey. Cowboys have to pick up some yards here. They have 2 timeouts. From the 49, Romo. All kinds of time. Austin tries to stretch out for it and incomplete. And Golden on the coverage.
Boy, how about that? They have a safety playing Miles Austin. And it is truly just man-to-man coverage in the slot, 19 against 21. Boy, that's a nice swim move by Miles Austin, but Tony Romo, little safe with the throw. Miles Austin can't make the catch.
Romo's got to take advantage of the fact the Steelers are going with their 4th and 5th cornerbacks. With Lewis now out, joining Allen and Taylor, who were inactive. 2nd and 10 with 43 seconds. Over to Witten. And he is met by Harrison at the 44 timeout Dallas. Again, the Cowboys trying to set up a game-winning attempt, trying to make it a three-way tie in the NFC East. Dallas will be hosting New Orleans next week, and then Week 17 will be at Washington.
A lot of interesting things to look at here. Let's say the Cowboys run the football, Jim, and they end up about a yard short. What do you do if you're the Steelers? You got to be careful. You can't let the clock run down. You call a timeout to force the Cowboys to make that decision. Do they want to kick a long field goal and maybe miss it and give the Steelers one more chance? These are situations as a head coach. You really got to be on top of all the scenarios. Look at Mike Tomlin. Look at the clock, thinking of all the scenarios that could come up, and you got to be ready to answer.
It's just too far out at this point. It would be 62 yards. Bailey career long 51. 3rd and 4. Cole Beasley's made a couple of important grabs. He's in a slot for the Cowboys. They have one timeout left. Romo throws. Incomplete. Was going to Witten. James Harrison was putting the pressure on Romo.
Yeah, but it's a good throw. Tony Romo gets a second look at it, and he throws it in the right spot.
I mean, they've got their kicker out here.
Yeah, you got to punt it. This is an easy call. You punt this football and you go into overtime. Well, wait, they've got
their kicker. That's what I'm saying. They got Bailey out here. This would be 61 yards. One of the longest in the history of the NFL. Too short of the all-time mark.
I got to see him kick it to believe it. That's why I talked about if they got a 4 or 5 yards, you could get the clock on a run, or 3 or 4 yards, then you get a situation where you won't pay for it on the back end.
Yeah, on a miss.
Yes. Now, the one thing is, we saw him, I watched him kick in warm-ups, Jim, and what breeze there is going behind the Cowboys. There is a little breeze in the stadium. The way you're playing, the way your defense is hot, what you've been doing on the offense basically all day, I would not do this. I would punt this football.
Well, there's been a change of heart, I believe, as we see the shift.
There you go.
As Bailey trots to the sideline. I know you were in shock. Given the time on the miss, think Pittsburgh would have been taken over at the Dallas 49.
That's why if you kept the clock moving, that's where if you put the pressure on the other side of the football, the clock is stopped, all the pressure now is on you.
Now a timeout's called by the Steelers.
Yeah, they're going to make sure, let's rethink everything, or let's don't get caught napping with the fake punt, draw us off sides, you go over all those scenarios.
Previous timeout, they had it on the board here as one that had been called by the Steelers, but in fact had been called by the Cowboys, as I think they wanted to come out and see what kind of reaction they get with Bailey setting up.
That's Amos Jones, special teams coach.
So they had Chris Rainey back deep for just a moment. Now he heads to the sideline, and they put Antonio Brown inside the 5.
And what do you do here, Jim? What do you do?
You don't touch it.
You don't
have any reason
punt
to feel it. Nope. LP Ladiseur will send it back to Mormon. Flies into the end zone with 25 seconds to play. Steelers have one timeout. That didn't really help them. I mean, Mormon had a chance to pooch that and just really almost guarantee that the Steelers would be satisfied to go to overtime. But now, maybe from the 20, remember what they did last week before the end of the first half?
Yeah, I think even if they do get into shotgun formation here, it's going to be a screen. You run the draw. You stick your toe in the water. You don't fire this football down the field, I don't think. And if somebody happens to make a special play in this situation, then you think about, okay, let's go for the win. And this answers the question there, too. That would have been pretty brave to try to mount something from the 20 with this crowd against you right now.
We're going to head to overtime.
What a game.
Yeah.
It really is.
Every step of the way.
Yeah. Really a lot of good stuff, a lot of good execution by both football teams, and strategy here at the end, which was fun to watch the coaches. Well, really, Jason Garrett had to suffer through a couple tough decisions.
One 15-minute quarter. Here are the rules. 2 timeouts per team. Booth reviews only. Touchdown or safety on the first possession would win the game. If the score is tied after each team's first possession, then the next score will win it.
And the way the offense is, some of the plays, the quarterback's playing so well, there's no doubt you take the football if you win the coin toss.
Overtime, here are the rules. We're going to play up to one 15-minute period. If the first team that scores, that gets the ball in overtime, scores a touchdown, game's over. If the first team that gets on defense scores a safety, the game is over. You'll each get 2 timeouts, and all replays will be initiated. Okay, good? Good? Okay. That's a T is for tail. A helmet is heads. It's a helmet is heads, and T is for tails. Pittsburgh, it's your choice. Tails is the call. It is tails. You want the ball, okay? Which way you choose? Pittsburgh wins. No receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
The Steelers will be receiving the overtime kickoff. The 2 touchdowns that got us to overtime. Brown and then Murray answering. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and the epic task to raise the largest ship ever wrecked, followed by the Survivor finale and the live reunion show tonight on America's most watched network, CBS. All right, the Steelers played in the first ever overtime game with these rules. We were there in the wild card round at Denver.
Yeah, how about that? That's right.
And it ended right at the very start on a Tebow touchdown pass, 80 yards to Demaryius Thomas.
I think the Steelers will be aggressive here. You know, they know their defensive secondary is beat up.
There's Bailey showing off his leg. Maybe they should have tried it from 62 after that one.
He makes it look easy, though.
Yeah, he does. All right, so Byron Leftwich on one side, Charlie Batch on the other, looking in as they game plan it for Roethlisberger on the first possession of overtime. And again, the AFC North has suddenly, as far as who's going to take the division, has gotten very interesting. 3 consecutive Ravens losses.
Well, you built these football teams. Both of them have. They're centered around their quarterbacks. They're very good. So why not put Roethlisberger in the shotgun on first down?
The time is tied in for about 6.
What a catch. My gosh.
Heath Miller, looks like the Steelers are going no huddle.
Yeah, there you go. I don't blame them. I like this. No huddle. It disarms the defense sometimes. They can't substitute. And generally, it'll make them play coverages that are simple and probably not worrisome to the Steelers.
Miller's first catch since the second quarter. On 2nd and 4. Picked off! The Cowboys car comes up with it. Brandon Carr down the sideline, trying to end it right here. And he is right at the goal line at the 1.
Brandon Carr, aggressive. He's had a solid day covering. Ben Roethlisberger thinks this is going to be an easy completion to the outside, but what a break by Brandon Carr. Cuts right in front of Mike Wallace. Usually he stays outside and looks inside. That time he was inside and broke on the football. Not a bad throw by Roethlisberger. Just a aggressive play by Carr.
Check 2 things. He was close to that sideline. I believe he stayed in, and then he came so close to just crossing the plane. Again, Booth reviews only. He did not get touched, so he's not down. And then he begins the chase to the goal line. They were going for Wallace. Rob Ryan's reaction.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Carr, that play alone could be worth going out and signing a free agent for all that money.
No, it's play of the year for the Cowboys.
Absolutely. I think they've known Jason Garrett. You could see it in his face. The decisions he's made down the stretch, they realize they have to
Ruling on
win
the
this
field is
game.
confirmed. First and goal, Dallas.
Of course, they could kick it right here, and with what is essentially an extra point distance. And Murray did fumble earlier inside the 10. That's a football you want to keep there if you're Brandon Carr.
Well, what you might do, quarterback sneak it, and if you do, go to the right side. If you don't make it, at least you get it right in the middle of the field.
This formation.
Yeah, get him out of the way because he's coming right.
Pushes Vickers over a bit. And he steps back to the 3 to give him that 20-yard attempt for the win.
I like this call. I like the decision. I like what they did just there. I don't think you try to run it in that situation to score. Some people go, no, go and win the game. Look, what do you think the Steelers are going to be playing right there? They're going to submarine, send everybody right in the middle.
Dan Bailey.
It's an extra point.
2 game-winning field goals this year. 6 in his first 2 years. 21 yards to distance for the win. And Bailey's kick. Timeout. Timeout. The kick was good. And the signal is timeout before the snap by the Steelers.
Pittsburgh takes its first timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
I mean, Tomlin was way out on the field to make sure he got everybody's attention.
Well, Tony Romo said to us on Friday, this team is so used to this situation and playing like this. He goes, what did he say to you, Jim?
Just, hey,
let's be within
a touchdown or
10
even
points.
10 points in the fourth quarter. We can find a way. The first time the Cowboys ever had a game-winning field goal in franchise history, 1961 against Pittsburgh at the Cotton Bowl, Alan Green. Now it's a young man named Dan Bailey out of Oklahoma State with a chance at victory. And the kick is good. Dallas scores the game's final 10 points. And now there is a 3-way tie in the NFC East. It all started with this interception. Going for Wallace, and Carr cuts in front of him and makes the play of the year by the Dallas defense. Taking it all the way down to the 1. A year ago in Denver, the Steelers lost on the first play of the new overtime rules. Today they lose on the 4th play. The Cowboys have a 3-game win streak for the first time this season.
Well, this team has learned to just hang in there. Last week they physically lost the battle on both sides, really, but they made the plays that counted. And today, they hung in there and made the plays at the end.
A field that has not been kind to Roethlisberger, having lost a Super Bowl here to Green Bay 2 years back. Now in the AFC, the playoff picture. Again, that game for Pittsburgh next week against Cincinnati will be huge. But now it's Baltimore at 9-5 in that division, Cincinnati at 8-6, and the Steelers at 7-7. What a game, Phil.
It was. Best of the year.
Yep. Pleasure to be here to call it with you. Dallas wins it in overtime, 27-24. Coming up next, 60 minutes. Followed by the Survivor finale and the reunion show. For Phil and all the crew, this is Jim Nance saying so long from Dallas. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.